Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe if you are enjoying what you are hearing. Now, on to today's story. Devastated. Need support. Devastated. On January 2nd, I found out my wife has been having an affair for the past 8 months. I was utterly devastated, and still am. We have been together for the past 7 years, and married for the past 3. My entire life ended in a matter of seconds, my sense of safety and security in life, losing my best friend and any confidence I had in myself. Being on the receiving end of an affair changes your body's physiology. I am in a constant state of hyperarousal that is numbed out only slightly by utter exhaustion that follows. One of the most hurtful things is her lack of remorse and callousness. I am only being able to hypothesize as to why she is having that reaction, but I suspect that it is a character flaw. She is incapable of empathy towards others. Learning that your partner started playing by a different set of rules, but you are still playing by the ones that you agreed to on your wedding day is the worst kind of betrayal and hurt someone can experience. At this point, I am continually reminding my body and mind that I am safe and I don't need to rehearse my anger. TBC no longer being deceived, but it's going to be a while until I feel safe again and I trust my instinct as much as I did before the affair. Devastated Part 2. Update. A few days ago, I posted in the sub after I found out in the beginning of 2021 that my wife has been having an affair for 8 months. We have been together for 7 years. Since then, I experienced another significant loss. My dad died. My mom and dad divorced when I was very young. He was in and out of my life a few times, but was never consistent. He had a number of relationships in his life, but he was never able to form deep and meaningful connections on a long-term basis with others. In short, he treated people as disposable. When things began to get tough, he left my mom when I was born. As I reflected on my dad's life and death, I began to see striking similarities between my wife and my dad. A few years ago, I fell off the roof and shattered my ankle. My wife had to take care of me for a few months while I was incapacitated. It was during that time that I believe our relationship began to change. Narcissists enjoy the appearance of perfection, superiority, and had great difficulty forming deep and meaningful relationships. They are incredibly skilled at being able to influence and deceive people, and are able to form surface-level relationships very well. I believe I recognized similar qualities in my wife on some level, and that is what drew me to her in the first place. It was an opportunity to correct a fractured relationship I always wanted but would never have. Recognizing this gave me some clarity. After I found out about the affair, I was so angry and hateful towards my wife for what she did. Beginning to see and understand the similarities of how each of them formed attachments helped me to realize how angry I still was at my dad, and how some of the anger I was experiencing towards my wife was being displaced. Don't get me wrong, I am still angry towards my wife about the decision she made to treat our relationship as disposable. But some of that anger was not about her. Recognizing this also helped me begin to separate the complex feelings I have towards my wife. I felt guilty that I still loved her after she hurt me so deeply. In moments when I would think about how much I missed her, I realized I was thinking about times earlier in our relationship when we connected in ways that were deep and meaningful. Reflecting on the healthy ways my wife and I connected earlier in our relationship helped me to realize that person I married has been gone for some time. Part of me will always love my wife, and it is that part that holds the memories of how well we connected. Separating that part from the affair has helped me heal and begin to restore confidence, knowing that I do have the ability to form deep and meaningful relationships. It will still be a very long time before I am able to trust in an intimate relationship again. However, when I find myself on that path again, I believe I will have better insight to enter into a healthy relationship and find someone who will treat me the way I should be treated. Devastated Part 3. Update. This is a follow-up to my first 2 posts after I found out my wife had been having an affair at the beginning of the year, and learning my dad died last week. Over the weekend, my mom came down to visit and help out. Although I was grateful she was there, I found myself feeling apprehensive and on edge nearly the whole time. We even fight once. When she left, I felt an overwhelming wave of sadness and depression pass over me. I barely got up, and sobbed uncontrollably a good part of the day yesterday. It was then I began to realize that I did not feel comfortable or had a voice with my sadness around important women in my life. I mentioned in my previous post that I fell off the roof 3 years ago and shattered my ankle. It was during that time that my wife was thrust into the caretaker role, and her perception of me began to change. I remember several interactions where I picked up on resentment, e.g., bringing me breakfast because I could not walk. Part of me felt bad for inconveniencing her, and now I realized it was then when I lost my voice in the relationship. Falling off the roof was my first close encounter with death, and the fear I experienced put me in a role where I was at the mercy of others. My wife was not a natural caretaker, but I also recognized that she was the best chance I had when recovering. At the time, I felt like I could not rock the boat, so I took my shoes off and walked on eggshells and became more accommodating in any way I could to keep her happy. It was uncomfortable, but slowly I also began to recognize resentment building in me from the betrayal on her part. We take care of each other no matter what, and if there are issues that come up, we talk about them and process them. As my resentment grew, I began to become more angry and passive-aggressive. This was my way of taking back power, but it was also my mistake, as it prompted her to move away from me. I now realize that an important part of healing is finding my voice that I had lost. There have been other points in time where I had lost my voice because of a power differential coupled with fear, e.g., growing up in a single-parent household after my dad left, and I know moving forward those are 2 important factors I will need to be on the lookout for. My voice is important. I began therapy today, and it felt great. I'm optimistic moving forward that I will be able to heal from this. I also feel like I am able to separate the woman who I fell in love with and married from the person who she is now, so I don't feel the draw of wanting to go back. I genuinely miss my friend and the woman I fell in love with. We had a happy, healthy relationship for some time, and it was great. But no more. Moving forward, I will occasionally post updates on how I am doing. I cannot thank the Reddit community enough for your support during this time in my life. Y'all are amazing.